Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to cover the Cataclysm crossover, which basically was the end of the Ultimate Universe, which when the Ultimate Universe first came out, I really loved. I really dug the X-Men series and the Spider-Man series written by Brian Michael Bendis. He really killed it. I have very fond memories of that series, but the Ultimate Universe itself in general, also the first Ultimate series was really good too. I enjoyed it a lot, but I felt like it sort of went in a really weird direction. Um, and then Ultimatum had happened, which just made me hate the whole Ultimates line. That crossover was just terrible, where Magneto tries to take over the world. I had totally stopped reading anything related to the Ultimate Universe. But I was curious with this whole thing of Galactus falling into the Ultimate Universe. There was a mini series prior to this. I think it was called The Hunger. But today we're going to cover a couple of mini series tied to the Cataclysm and the main crossover itself, because I just wanted to see how they were going to resolve the end of this particular line of comic books. So the first one we have is with Spider-Man. This is Miles Morales Spidey. Miles Morales first came out, I didn't pay too much attention because, again, I wasn't interested in the Ultimate Universe. I liked his character design. I think I dipped in. I might have read a couple of his first issues and stuff like that, but it didn't catch my interest. This was actually the first story that I actually read with Miles Morales. I like the characters. Like, there's a lot of things about him that I don't understand, that I understood later. But the way Bendis presents the character in the story, it just really sparked my interest with Miles Morales. And later on, I would really, really start to love this character. I think he has a lot of potential. Have, I think he's the clone of Peter Parker, the female. Jessica Drew in this universe is actually a clone of Peter Parker. So that's something weird that I had totally forgotten about when I started to read this. But we have Miles Morales having to deal with Galactus destroying basically first New York City and then after the rest of the world. We also have this character called Bombshell, which I personally didn't know too much about when I was reading this. Now, as I said before, the story is by Brian Michael Bendis, and the art, Dave Marquez. Wow, what good art! I think he really killed it. I love the character design. The costume of Miles Morales is really awesome. I love the look. We also have Cloak and Dagger in this story. I really love the smoke effects around Cloak. It is really cool. But what happens is, again, I knew nothing what was going on in the Ultimate Universe, so I didn't know what was the deal with Cloak and Dagger during this time. But they're on this rooftop. They see Galactus arrive, and look, just the art is fantastic. Again, Marcus's art, killer. Cut back to, sadly, Ultimatum, when that giant tsunami crashed through New York City. How during that time, all these characters I presented to you previously dealt with that situation and the heroics of Spider-Man. Now we have Miles Morales having to deal with this Cataclysm level event. Man, the glare is killing me here. I love how Jagger tells Cloak, let's get in close and see if we can attack this dude and see if we can do something. She throws her light daggers at Galactus' eye. He doesn't even flinch. It's going into action. They want to deal with Galactus. Miles Morales obviously understands he's way out of his class. He's trying to save as many civilians and get people to safety as much as possible. So Cloak and Dagger almost gets killed by Galactus. Miles Morales goes back into the city. He wants to rescue his dad. And I remember when I read this, I didn't know the whole issue that Miles Morales' father really hates Spider-Man. That's such a cool angle for the character. And another thing that I didn't know about Miles Morales is that his father accuses him to be responsible with his mother's death. It's like, whoa, shit, what happened with this guy? Miles Morales' dad refuses to go with him. Miles has to go. He's going to try to rescue as many people as possible. Tells his dad to stay put. He goes to a plane. In a pretty incredible coincidence, he saves J. Jonah Jameson's life. He's oddly the only person on this flight. That's the only part in this miniseries that feels a little bit out of place. But the rest of the story and Jessica Drew also tries to give Miles Morales a hand, Spidey a hand. She's like more of a tutor, and to teach Miles the ways of the hero. But this particular tie-in to this crossover in general, at least I really enjoyed it, to see a street level character having to deal with something like this. Most of this crossover, man, it wasn't the best. That was stuff I really didn't like about this. These 3 issues by Bendis, fantastic. We're gonna get into that. Like this whole compilation issue, sadly, I'm gonna trade it away. This beast, there's some pretty good moments, but the way they end the story and the X-Men tie-ins are not the best. See you guys next time. Bye.